You are listening to Tomes of the Chaos Bard.
Welcome back, Tomies, to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. I am DM Dave, and to the left we have
Henley,
Boudreaux,
Tuck,
And Fenrir.
and Elsie. You do have recap, but I want to share a joke with you real fast.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
For the audience, she likes to play with like this little putty thing that has little bees in it, right?
Yeah.
Cute little bees. So, what did the sushi say to the bee?
What?
Wasabi?
Aww. That's cute.
did I send you that one?
I think so. I think that was one that you sent me.
Makes sense, because I actually liked that one.
Okay, Elsie, what is the recap?
Okay. Once upon a time, there was a very beautiful friend. Group. There once upon a time, there was a lovely group. And they had just lost their leader. And then this evil man came in it. And he said, I can make you these these objects make you go into a different plane of existence. And you can go through the woods and kill your enemies. And they were all like, oh, that sounds so good. Oh my gosh, and it doesn't even cost money. And then their other really cool masculine man in the group said, I don't think this is a good idea. Because that man is evil. And, sorry, that voice, is evil. And he is evil, so don't do it. And the group was like, but it doesn't cost any money, and it's fine. And Boudreaux was like, the masculine man was like, whatever, do whatever you want. But the mean man was like, yeah, well, your god sucks. And Boudreaux was like, yeah, well, I don't believe in your god, and stop being mean to me. And then the other group members were like, yeah, well, we're going to take this stuff, and we're going to do what we originally planned to do. But the evil man said, but now that you're going to accept this, you must do something for me, which nobody was expecting because he's evil. And the guy said that he wanted in return the needle, the soul-sewn needle that the masculine man originally wanted, because the evil man wants to take what other people want. And that's how evil people work. And he said that he would hold Boudreaux accountable for the death or the lost man. The end.
Well, thank you, Elsie, for that recap. So, as Elsie said, you guys have made a deal with Ezeal. Soul Sewn Needle.
Let's make a deal with
Ezeal. You made a deal with him to give him the Soul Sewn Needle and possibly the Lazarine that is controlling it, as long as he just doesn't get away, whether he dies or lives, as long as he doesn't escape. Or consequences will follow. What consequences? Who knows?
We never agreed to that part of it. We said we would try.
Mm-hmm. But Boudreaux did say what would happen if they didn't, and he just said, I'll hold you accountable.
Great, hold them accountable,
but... And in return, you guys would get items to help you walk through the ethereal plane. And of course, you're getting those and then getting him the Soul Sewn Needle. So, you guys are now packing up to leave. And Ezeal will approach Fenrir. Before you go, my Wights would like to warn you of something inside.
Okay.
They say that they were slain by a foul creature in there. A large crow-like vulture that stood about 2 great men tall. Wings feathered and scaled, twice its body's length. and it had somewhat of a head of a lizard and long dagger-like claws.
Yes?
It was with those little gnome-like creature things with it, and it had carried away many of their comrades that were not dead, but left the ones who had passed on, and their leader was taken amongst the captives.
Okay, this is not the first we've heard of this large winged creature. We'll definitely look out for it.
And I bring it to your attention because it was able to see me through the ethereal plane.
Oh,
That is when I found these Wights with me.
so what does that mean? Can he see both planes? Or is he just in the ethereal plane?
He was able to see through the ethereal plane and know who was on the other side. The creature had the power to see through it and knew that I was there.
So maybe we don't need these rings after all.
They will be very useful to you to pass all the other dark shadows that pass through the woods, where you will have to combat every single one as you go through it.
Unless we get to Wicklennick and he knows a way to get around it.
Perhaps.
Maybe the hags won't attack me because I'm already... Maybe they won't attack me because I'm already one of them.
I just know that they say that their leader was a strong paladin, and they took him down.
Was their leader named Cloth Dez?
And he'll turn to the Wights and look at you. Yes.
Is he still alive?
From their knowledge, he was taken alive. What his fate is now, I do not know. But that is part of the reason why they cling to life. Of course, the corruption didn't let their souls pass on, but they wish to find him. They are very loyal to their leader.
Can the Wights talk?
To me, they can. Any questions you have for them, I could pass on. Most dead lose their ability to communicate with their vocal cords. As you can tell, they go through a slow process of decay.
Right. Will they tell us where Cloth Dez's family resides?
They say that he had little family. He never married, never had children, but his parents reside in Dengal.
What are their parents' names?
Good question.
Jacob and Mary.
Jacob and Mary. Their parents' name was Jacob and Mary Clothlin.
Roll for name generator.
We have his sword, and it was being used by another creature that turned purple when we struck him. I don't know what kind of creature it was, but we will give his sword back to his family.
So a creature had his sword?
Yes,
And his face.
and his armor, and his face.
A creature that transforms, impersonates?
Yes.
Interesting. Might be another hag creation.
Could be. We're up against something very, very dangerous, aren't we?
Seems so.
Do you think we stand a chance?
Hags are interesting creatures. It's may all depend on how well we can surprise them. If the whole coven is even here, because they do not get along very well. Covens normally don't last very long because they become greedy, power lustful. And so many covens fall apart. So it depends on what stage this coven is, whether they're unified in some goal or on the cusp of breaking.
So if we wait long enough, then they'll destroy themselves?
It's very possible. Are you willing to make that risk, though? Because I am not.
I don't know what to do anymore. Why are you coming to me? And he says it very underneath his breath.
Well, Boudreaux has nothing to do with me. And I come to you because you seem the most open about information. So I feel
Probably true.
that information could be freely given as
That's
well.
true. Yes. Well, I appreciate your help. We have much to discuss.
Good luck.
Yes.
I will wait for your word on when you are ready to leave, and I could have these rings transported to you.
Yes, that would be appreciated.
As much time as you can give me, the better the rings may be.
Okay. We'll give you as much time as we can, but we've got to deal with these hags.
I agree.
Okay.
Once you enter, I will try to make the biggest distraction I can.
That would be helpful. Maybe you can lure away the winged beast.
I will try. But I know it dwells deep within the forest.
Well, we better be off.
He nods. Are you guys, the rest of the group, are you doing anything particular?
Yeah, packing up to go.
Okay.
I'm going to relay that information to the group.
Okay.
I'm a little bit down the road, sitting in the dirt.
You're just like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, I noticed they weren't following me, so I sat down.
Mm-hmm. Well, Delvin's listening in on your conversation. Do you tell him about what the Wights said about Cloth Dez?
I probably would.
Okay.
Especially since we had that interaction.
So, when you mention Cloth Dez, Delvin perks up, and he's like, wait, they are his group. Desmond was their leader.
Yes.
Well, what was he doing in the forest? He must be possibly alive then?
Could be. I mean, if the hags are the ones that stole his sword.
It still raises the question of why they were in there to begin with.
You can go ask Ezeal.
And he goes and asks Ezeal. Okay. Everybody else is getting ready to pack up.
But I want to know.
Know what?
I want to know. Can you
What's the
tell
answer?
us? We want to know what Delvin asks Ezeal.
Well, nobody's there to listen in.
I will
So.
I will go with I will go with Delvin.
Okay. We're going to jump over to Boudreaux real fast.
I'm sitting in the dirt, drawn in the dirt.
What is going through Boudreaux's mind here?
Pure fury.
Anger.
Boudreaux feels very betrayed. And he's very hurt. And at this moment, with his unclear mind, he turns inward. And there happens to be a lizard folk in there.
Yes?
He says, "What do you think about all this stuff? We really can't go in there right now anyway. Even with those stupid objects."
We know that the Lazarines cannot be trusted
Nope.
because of their dark ways.
Yeah.
However, we could use his abilities to save my people.
Yeah, we definitely could. But then he could be tricking us.
I don't feel any trickery with this one. He is very strange.
Okay.
However,
But, just like you said, if Fenny is, then maybe there's a reason why he wants the objects.
you may have a point,
Yeah.
but that does not explain why Henley and the goblin would be feeling the same.
Because Fenny wants to? Because they like cheap things? Free things? I mean, I do too, but still.
Let us see where it takes us. Once we get the information from this wick.
For the record, I'm just listening to you. I didn't say I would do what you say.
Then why ask?
'Cause you in here anyway.
I'm counseling with my elders.
Once we hear and find this wick Lennox and get the information we need, then we will determine what path to take. Whether we continue following this Fenrir and use these items that this Lazarine is making. Who knows if they'll actually work?
True. I can agree to that. Let's find Wick Lennox.
That seems the path. I am glad you reached out for my counsel.
Take a point in dark magic. JK.
It is what Kundas would have liked.
Yeah, maybe. But I can understand where Lala and Grada are coming from.
I have been thinking the same thing.
Empathy.
Sucks having somebody else in your head all the time.
Boudreaux breaks the stick he was playing with.
But I do not agree with giving up the soul sewn needle.
Me neither.
Then we must not let it fall into the Lazarine's hand.
Agreed.
And you feel a nod. And Qualkec's presence dissipates.
Yes. Boudreaux has dug a hole with the stick.
Okay, the broken stick.
That is true.
And himself into one, apparently, too. Jeez.
Deception.
Disgrace.
Okay,
Betrayal.
let's move on. Did you have anything else, Boudreaux? Okay. We'll move back up to Delvin and Ezeal. So, Fenrir, you said you were tagging along.
Yeah, I'll just follow him. This is a good question. He's curious.
Okay. So, Delvin approaches Ezeal, and he's like, I understand that these undead are comrades of Desmond Clothlin? Yes, they are. I knew Desmond way back, and I'm just curious on why he was in the forest to begin with. Ezeal turns to the Wights, And you see one kind of step forward. And it seems to kind of be the main one that Ezeal's talking to. He says that Cloth Dez, after he left the order, that he became a mercenary. He was being contracted and hired often by someone named the Legionnaire. They would often go as escorts. They would often track down others that the Legionnaire sent to capture. And he also worked with others through the Legionnaire, but those names are unknown. They make mention that Cloth Dez was very good at keeping records. If by chance he is alive and his stuff is still with him, you might find more information. But they were contracted specifically to find the hidden rock gnome place called Burrow, that is rumored to be deep in the Half-Pine Woods or beyond it. They were sent to find its location and to report it back to the Legionnaire.
Could that be where the hags are at?
That I don't know.
You said it was a rock gnome?
It's the Rock Gnome City, hidden city. The rock gnomes keep to themselves. They are busy creating mechanics and machinery and knickknacks. Very intelligent creatures, but they are very secluded and isolated. That is why their home is secret.
Fenrir's going to look over at Hurla.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
Just wondering. He's like, because she's a rock gnome, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's it.
And she's always tinkering with her her hand crossbows.
Right.
And so Ezeal's like, that is all the information that they can provide. They do believe that he may yet be alive. But it does concern them, because I did share the information that you told me about his sword and the creatures stealing his face and armor.
Well, we really should be getting going.
Delvin reaches out his hand to Ezeal and shakes it. Ezeal shakes it. He's like, thank you. And you can just see Delvin's kind of deep in thought.
Welcome to Tomes of the Chaos Bard mid-show break. I am Rupert Bumpkin. Thank you for listening to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. If you wish to support us, visit us on ko-fi.com/Tomes of the Chaos Bard, where you may become a member of our Ko-Fi. There, you can receive special content, such as post shows, DM deep dives, and exclusive merchandise, such as t-shirts and keychains. There, you may also donate to the Feed the Cast funds, a special way to thank them by buying them dinner for the night. Yum, yum! Other ways you can support us is by sharing us with your friends and family and on social media. Spreading the word about the Tomes of the Chaos Bard is a huge help, and we thank you for your help. Another way you can support us is through 5-star reviews. And with every 5-star review, Solemn the Chaos Bard will give you a shout-out on our Solemn's columns. So stay tuned for those. That is all, folks, and back to the show.
Okay. We are ready to go. You guys are, to talk about your location, you guys are right next to the woods. how do you want to proceed to Mapleshire? So if you continue going along the path, along the tree line, it'll probably take you another 3 days to get to Mapleshire. However, if you guys decide to go farther away from the tree line, it will take you probably another day to get to Mapleshire.
As Henley, she has a suggestion. So, gathering the group together, I think during the day we should keep traveling the tree line the way we have been. But as the sun begins to descend a little, we move out and set up camp.
So, like, what, an hour from sunset, we start heading out?
Yeah. And then, so that we're at least 2 hours away from the tree line. Or an hour, about where we set up camp earlier the day before.
Boudreaux, are you okay with that?
So did you guys walk down to Boudreaux? Because he was...
Yeah, we're all
Yeah.
rounded up.
Okay. Sure.
Tick?
Yeah, that's fine. That's good with me. And then
Garatha?
Ratha,
Kath?
Hurla.
Hurla?
Delvin.
Delvin? Does that sound good?
Kath nods his head. Hurla shrugs. And Delvin's like, I agree.
All right, I guess it's settled. That's what we'll do.
I'll lead the way.
Okay. So it gets closer to night. You guys go away. You guys spend probably about 2 days travel in this kind of routine, right? You have your night about 2-ish hours away, or you said an hour?
Mm-hmm.
Hour away from the tree line. Morning comes, you guys travel back, and I imagine that you're not going like directly to it. You're kind of doing like a
It's like a
diagonal to it.
zigzaggy path, yeah.
Yeah, zigzaggy path. And on one morning, it's on the morning of the third day. You're about
Ironic.
you're about a day away from Mapleshire. You guys start heading towards the tree line. And you guys begin to start hearing a commotion. As your eyes get drawn, you see a pack of goblins chasing another creature. This creature seems to be kind of wrapped in kind of like rags and stuff. Has like a cloth that's covering its face, and it's trying to run away. Yes, Tick.
I want to... Okay, so as we're watching him and stuff like that, because I kind of know how goblins operate a little bit more, would it be easy for me to discern, like, any sort of strategic patterns that the goblins would have that they're trying to catch them as, that I could give to the group other than they're just attacking it?
It looks like they're trying to capture the creature. So their movements and stuff, you can tell that they're shooting, running, shooting
So
an arrow.
Capture, not kill.
Correct. Because goblins are pretty accurate with their bows, but it seems like they're trying to hit it in the legs or a limb.
Okay.
And that doesn't seem like trying to shoot to kill.
Okay. They're trying to capture it, not kill it. You see, we're short, but they're still aiming low. That way, if they have to drag it, it's still okay, and it's still alive, and easy to fix. But if you shoot higher, they're going to bleed out.
And during that conversation, an arrow does hit the creature, and it actually hits it pretty square in the back. right after that conversation.
However, that one is a low-ranking idiot. He'd be easy to take out.
Capture, huh?
I said he's a low-ranking idiot. You see how the other goblins are stopped and was like, "What are you doing?"
So to explain the goblin group, so there is about 4 of these smaller goblins that are kind of leading the pack, and from behind you see about 2 bugbears coming in from behind.
The bugbears are going to be the harder one to get out. You're going to take those down first, and then
The gather goblins easy. If you want to save this thing that they are going after, though.
Is it?
And the goblins now are getting to the fallen creature.
Can we tell if the fallen creature is what? Is it any sort of like what is their race or anything?
So at first you wouldn't be able to see. You guys are probably
Yeah.
about 150 feet away, seeing all this, and Tick's kind of narrating what's going on. But you do notice that when the creature falls, it tries to get back up, and its head wrap has now fallen off, and it's kind of unfamiliar creature from this distance.
But definitely creature looking, not humanoid looking.
Humanoid look like it was running on two legs. It was bipedal. But at this distance, it's hard to tell if it's
So it's
human or
hard for all of us to tell.
correct from this distance.
Kill the goblins, see what it is, kill it if it's threatening.
Okay, we split up, though. So, well, not split up, but somebody go after the bugbears, somebody go after the goblins.
I think we should sneak up on them.
What if we just let it go?
That's what I was wondering.
Okay, you want to do that? I don't care. Just you guys saving all the peoples all the time.
I think we need to kill the goblins.
She's always saying that, though. I wouldn't trust her with that one. However, those bugbears are
As
kind
the
of scary.
goblins-
This close to Mapleshire, they're a threat to Mapleshire.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
As you guys are talking, you see the goblins going up to the creature, and they are drawing their swords.
Hanley pulls out her bow and shoots. Because she can at this. She runs up 30 feet, so she's at 120 feet and shoots. At one of the bugbears, like Tick said.
And then, so Tick is going to sigh and go,
Okay, well, I guess I get the goblins.
and he's going to run up by Henley and shoot at one of the goblins as well.
Do you have a short bow?
I have a hand crossbow.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, Tick, you can take a shot at disadvantage because it is at your kind of max range.
Guess I got to do the same. I'll aim for the same bugbear that. Well, yeah, I'll aim for the same bugbear that Henley's going after.
That's a 19 plus 7.
Okay, I would need to get everybody else's what they're doing first.
I
Boudreaux, what are you doing? Everybody's pulling out their weapons.
think I'm going to wait.
Okay.
And Delvin's like,
He's going to stay back
yeah.
until told otherwise. Boudreaux's doing nothing. Okay, what'd you get, Henley?
19 plus 7.
Okay, that's a hit.
And 6 damage. And I get another one.
You do.
Do I get to add the sneak attack to this one?
Yes.
12 plus 7, so 19.
That's a hit.
Yeah, max damage. 12
Perfect.
piercing damage. And technically magical because of my bow.
Mhm.
My quiver.
Tick, what'd you get?
I got a 16 at the disadvantage.
Okay, that is a hit.
It's a 14 hit.
You shooting at a bugbear?
That's 18 damage.
18.
Yeah.
Okay, that goblin drops down. 14 does not hit the bugbear. Bugbear gets hit. Doo-doo, 2 arrows. One of the goblins drop. And it kind of draws the attention of everybody else. They kind of look around, see you guys, and they see that pretty big group, kind of outnumbers them. And they are going to actually start running away.
I'm going to keep shooting until they can't be seen anymore.
Okay, are you chasing after them, or are you just going to...
Well, yes, so that we can get to the creature they were attacking.
Okay, with that, let's roll an initiative to see if they move before you're in range. Move out of range. So Abby's roll in.
5.
I'm roll in. I rolled a 6.
Boo!
So they are actually going to use their dash action. So they're all able to move. I think goblins are 25 feet. I believe.
I think they're 30.
Are they 30?
I think they're 30.
I think they're 30.
They start running away 60 feet, so now they are 180 feet away from you. Are you chasing them, Henley?
I only need to move 30 feet to get in range.
So are you moving?
Yes, I
'Kay.
am moving to scare them off.
Because where is your disadvantage? You have a longbow, correct?
Yeah, my disadvantage is at 600. I can shoot up to 150 feet, no disadvantage.
Okay. And then anything above 150 feet is disadvantage. Okay.
Yep.
Take your shot. Same kind of bugbear you're shooting at?
Yep, same one.
Okay. Go for it.
14 plus 7.
That's a hit.
Okay. And I'll roll for second attack. 15 plus 7.
Yep.
So that's 6 damage. And 8 damage.
How do you kill this thing?
Just hit it under its arm, like armpit on the weak spot of his armor, and just right through to his heart.
Okay. And that bugbear goes down.
I want to go up to Henley because you only move like 30 feet away, right?
Correct.
Do you want me to keep shooting?
If you can.
Okay. I have cunning action, and I've only moved 40 feet. And so cunning action says you can take a bonus action on each of your turns to take the dash, disengage, or hide action. So I want to dash farther up.
Yep.
And then I want to shoot again.
Okay. Still at disadvantage. And you're shooting another goblin?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a 14.
That is unfortunately a miss.
Okay.
Okay. Do you guys pursue the goblins, or what do you do? I guess they already took their tunes. Boudreaux, Fenrir, what do you guys do?
I'm going to go up to the gentleman or whomever, the creature that they had their swords drawn at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also dashed to that as well.
That's what I would do is dash.
Okay. So now we're kind of out of combat. Goblins are running away. As Boudreaux and Fenrir run up. Yes.
I will say, I don't directly just run up and touch him to help him. I'm going to make sure I'm enough back so that I can survey who or what this is first.
I imagine Henley is now just covering to make sure that...
No surprise attacks, no.
Also,
From the goblins and the thing covered in rags.
Right.
I also want to watch its demeanor.
Okay.
You know, if it's going to kill me or not.
And Tig's just going to look back at Henley like, do I keep chasing?
She'll just shake her head no.
Okay.
So everybody kind of culminates to the fallen creature. Fenrir and Boudreaux. Fenrir is probably the quickest, right? Because you have 35 feet, or just 30.
35.
Okay. So you get there first.
Besides Tig, but Tig's
Right.
focused
on other things. But still, everybody's heading that direction. When you get there, Fenrir, you notice that it's trying to still get up, but it looks very badly injured. Has an arrow in the back, and its rags on its head have fallen off. Before you lays a creature who seems... I'm trying to remember. Did you ever meet Yolinks?
Yes.
Did Fenrir ever meet Yolinks?
Once.
I did.
I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, he did because he was outside the tent. And I think I was with Henley when she was outside the tent when we went to go talked about the treasure box.
And you would have seen him at the Duke's party
And I would have
because
seen him.
he did end up going there. So it's a very similar creature to Yolinks, a tabaxi. And this very scarred, has burn marks all over it. It's especially, throughout his body. The rags seem to be covering that. The rags on its head have fallen off. Where there is fur, it's very lush. It's very poofy. But a lot of the fur is gone just because it's had horrible burn marks around it. It looks up at you and it like takes a swipe at you as you get closer, and then you see the eyes just kind of roll back, and it seems to have lost consciousness. But the swipe was like almost like a protective, like
Right. Fenrir wants to. So it's badly hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously was running. He wants to tie the hands and the feet.
Okay. You guys see this action.
Henley probably runs up, still keeping her distance because she has her bow drawn. Probably 60 feet away.
Okay.
And Fenrir, what is it?
Looks like Yolinks.
And the fur is gray, by the way. Gray with some white patches on the bigger parts of the
So
fur.
Fenrir's thought process is he is remembering something being mentioned about an assassin.
The lioness.
Who he remembers somewhere hearing that she has that he thought at least that he had some sort of scarring. So that's who he's thinking this is right now. Knowing that she's an assassin, that's why he's tying her up.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't know, but that's what he's thinking right now.
Do you tell Henley that you think it's the assassin?
I would probably at this point just say it's a heavily scarred creature that looks like Yolinks.
Could it be the lioness?
I mean, it could be.
Didn't think she'd be this far already.
Boudreaux.
Tie her up.
Okay.
Already did.
She's 60 feet away. It's a little difficult to say. Cure wounds.
Okay, perfect. You
Guess
tell
that's
me how
what I was
much
gonna do.
health.
Wasn't she after Henley?
Yes. That's why he's being very
11.
cautious.
Okay, thank you. The creature seems to breathe a little more easy. Do you move the arrow at all?
It's in her back.
Yeah. And she is bleeding from other spots as well.
He wants to make sure he truly believes this is an assassin.
Okay.
And so he wants to make sure he's spending extra time on his knots to make sure that she's not going to get away. And he just seen Henley or Boudreaux, who is the healer, come up, touch her. So once he knows that the knots are secure, then he will start to also heal. So however many turns, I don't know how many you want that to take or whatnot. So
Yeah, whatever spell you're using, just let me know how much you heal.
I have a net. Should we?
Who is she?
Huh?
You said I have a net. Like a net?
This is not time for a pun.
Oh, sorry.
I mean,
There's
he
no
did
good time for a pun.
Delvin just
hatch
shrugs.
it.
No, I have to leave it in, David.
Henley comes up hesitantly and throws the net over her as well.
5.
5. Okay. Thank you.
He'll try to do it around the arrow.
Are you going to pull the arrow out?
Yeah, he probably would.
Okay.
Knowing that
I was like
it's right in the
healing,
back,
healing the arrow within the body.
Right. Trying to he'll try to pull it out, and as he's pulling it out, try to heal it.
'Kay.
That's where he'll put his hand.
Okay, so you guys all stand around this creature. Boudreaux did some healing. Fenrir did some healing. And you slowly see the creature gain consciousness. And that's where we're going to end it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. Big shout out to D.A. Nichols for writing our songs and music for this podcast. And also, go support her. Go buy her TTRPG, Shields of Power, and you can find that at drivethroughrpg.com. Also, special thanks to Coltrane Compositions for remastering our theme song. If you would like music in your TTRPG, go check his stuff out at coltranecompositions.com. Another shout out to Realmwalker, freesound.org, Monument Studios, and Tabletop Audio for additional sounds and music. Also, go check out our Ko-Fi. There you can support us at Feed the Cast, write Boudreaux a letter, and join one of our tiers for DM deep dives and post shows that we're about to record here now. I am DM Dave, and to the right I have
Fenrir.
Tick.
Boudreaux.
And Henley.
And until next time, we unroll the scroll to tell the tale. Bye.
Soul's toad needle.
Sorcerer's Needles.